Hi, this is Peter Darts Clairvoyant here, and I'm doing your astrology reading here for Leo. So this is Leo, April 2020. So Leo, April 2020. Now, I just feel as though with you Leos in general now, I just feel as though you're coming to a period now where I'll get frustration around you. And it's because you Leos like to do what you want to do and the way you want to do things. But at the moment, it's like you can't. It's almost like your hands are tied. But I don't feel like you've got to sort of feel stuck in everything that you're doing. There are certain things that you can plan and look forward to. So it just feels though you just got to go with the flow. But I feel as though don't let these frustrations get to you, because that even makes things worse for you. So it's like you've just got to bide your time. And maybe you just got to look at this period that you need a rest, because your mind is sometimes constantly on the go. So I feel as though if you can just rest and rewind and relax and unwind, it sort of relaxes your mind, your body and your soul. And I just think it'll be very good and very beneficial to you. And the longer it goes on, the better. I know you don't like being bored, but I feel as though you have got things to keep busy. It's not like you're sitting there doing completely nothing. You can have a bit of relaxation time, spending with family, watching the television, whatever it may be, things to just, chill out and connect with and take your mind off other things. I just feel as though it is very well beneficial. But I also feel as though in this time as well, you can sort of think long term about what you want to be doing for the future and how you're going to get from A to B. And things like this you can implement a little bit. But again, don't go constantly thinking about it. I feel as though you need this time to just sit back and relax a little bit and refocus your mind a little bit. And as you do that, you're going to feel so much better, so refreshed, so re-energized. It's almost like there'll be a new you coming out. But I do feel like you will be doing a lot of self-introspecting about what it is you want, what you're looking for, and where you want to be. And there could be some good answers and some answers here that you might not like. And there also could be at times where you just can't make your mind up. And if you can't, don't keep going over it. Just say, right, that's it, I'm at a pass, I'll just leave it. Eventually, the ideas will come to you, or the answers will, or eventually, just life leads you to that point where things are just naturally meant to be and happen without you constantly thinking about it. So that's the way I would look at things. So just keep doing what you're doing, and bit by bit, you will slowly but surely get where you need to be. It's like an interesting year this year. It is a good year for you Leos, but I also feel as though it's a year of frustration. But I just feel as though the positiveness will come. And I think it's already started off pretty good, but it's just we're getting to this point now where it's like we're being held back. But I would say don't look at it in a negative way. Just look at it as if to say you're recharging your batteries. So January, February, and March started okay. We're in this kind of limbo period now, sort of end of March, April onwards a little bit now, where we're a bit stuck. But you will be able to move forward, things you will be able to do. But I just feel like I say, you turn this negative into a positive, and you will realize that even you need to slow down at times. You can't just keep rushing forward. I feel so take a breath. Smell what's around you, smell the roses, so to speak, see what's in front of you. And then as you do that, you'll realize how far you've come over the last sort of decade. And you've got so much more of a decade to come. This is just a blip, and a blip is nothing. But I do feel like we've got coming up over the course of years some difficult things we got to face head on. But I just feel so you'll do them vigorously, and I feel like you'll be fine. And either friends or family or certain people will try and sort of knock you a little bit or blight your name a little bit, but don't worry about it. Again, you'll get through it. So don't worry about the upsets. There are one or two more upsets to come, but you will face them head on, and you will deal with them head on. So I feel so just keep doing what you're doing, and bit by bit you'll get there. Now, when it comes to relationships, Leo, for those of you single, I just feel as though you need that right connection now. Somebody's going to understand you. Somebody's going to understand your flights of fancy, even if sometimes they're a bit way over or they are grounded. You need somebody who's going to sort of go through life and make things happen with you. But I feel as though those of you are born at the beginning of your star sign, it's like you're a bit more sort of calmer and settled. And those of you born towards the end of your star sign will be a bit more ambitious. But either way, you still need partners to sort of, connect with your ups and downs a little bit. And as long as you've got that, then I think you're not going to go too far wrong. Also, sometimes I feel like in relationships, I feel as though, Leo, you can be a little bit picky, but I just feel as though as you get older, you'll find that pickiness will calm down and you'll just want different things in life. So I just feel so relationships will just balance itself out now as time goes by. Also, I feel like for partners, they're just feeling their sort of feet around you a little bit. And I feel as though you're going through some difficult times and being a bit introverted and they're trying to work you out. But I also feel as though you're trying to work them out. And I think all this working out isn't resolving anything. I just feel so just leave it be, just keep moving forward and don't worry about anything. Everything will start to sort itself out next year. It's like next year's going to be a very, very interesting year for Leos. This year is interesting, but next year becomes a lot more settled and finances start to really take off. And talking about finances, I just feel so some of you Leos have got your, how do I put this? Something that you like to indulge in, and sometimes it can be expensive and sometimes it's not, but I feel like you need it, wherever it may be. So it could be smoking, drinking, gambling, or something else that you draw to that you need to get sort of connected with. It helps you to relax your mind, switch off a little bit, and that's okay. But I do get the feeling as you get sort of a little bit more forward in life over the next couple of years, you'll gradually slow that down. You won't stop, but you'll slow it down to a point where it's like I feel so you're more bothered about the money than the activity. In other words, you want to start saving that money. You'll look at it as a waste of money. And I think what it is as you're growing throughout this next decade, it's like something's taking over that replaces that connection. And I just feel as though when that what replaces it doesn't cost anything. So I feel so just see where that kind of comes in for some of you Leos. But overall, money is going to be picking up. And I feel so those of you in careers, I just feel so you'll motivate yourself to do better or maybe doing a bit of overtime. And those of you in business, I feel so I get a lot more settlement coming around you and some ideas. There could be something that comes along with your business that's like a sideline to your business. It fits in with what you're doing, but it's a sideline. And I feel like it takes a bit of time for it to grow, but I feel so gradually people seem to want what you are doing. You're not sure about it, whether it's going to work or it's going to be a waste of money, but I just feel as though it will work and it will take off. And I just feel as though you've got no energy to put into it. It's almost like I feel as though you're doing a bit of buying and selling, but it fits in with whatever it is you're already doing in business. Or if you're thinking about a business, I feel like it will branch off into two main things, but they'll be very separate but very connected. So it's like they're in tandem. But I get the feeling the second idea, it's like I feel so it's not a constant flow of money, but it does bring in money. And at the end of the year, I feel as though it'll pay for something. And as the time goes by, it will sort of build up and there'll be more profit there. So just wait and see. When it comes to health, I feel as though I'm more drawn to your mind, and I just feel so relaxation now is the key, sort of de-stressing, and don't worry what other people are thinking or saying neither. It's almost like I feel so sometimes certain people that you could be close to are telling you do this and telling you do that, and I just feel so don't go at your own pace, because if you listen to them, it's like things will unfold the way they're meant to. And sometimes in the past you have listened too much or you've tried to listen and it's taken you off path and it's made you sort of take you longer to get there. It's caused you problems. You might not realize it, but it has. It's delayed you. So the less you listen to people and follow your own true path, the quicker you get there. But it's like you don't like upsetting people, you don't like confrontation, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But you've still got to stand your ground when it comes to bringing sort of money in, health, everything around you, because at the end of the day you're being guided, but other people don't always see that. So stay focused on what's best for you and eventually you get there, and don't worry what everybody's going to do. When it comes to family, I've just got you sort of sorting things out within family. There's going to be some changes over the coming year. And I just feel so you've just got to stand your ground a little bit. And whether they like the changes that you're making or they don't like it, it doesn't matter. It's like you've got to do it. You're not being obtrusive, you're not being awkward, you're not after anything in particular, but you know what you've got to do. And at the end of the day, they might not like it, they may not like, they think they should just, whatever it is you're doing or giving, they think they should get it for nothing. But it can't be like that. There's got to be an energy that comes backwards and forwards. So I just feel so stick to what you feel so you've got to sort out with family, whether it's helping them, guiding them, sorting them out, making them grounded for the future. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's connected with health, work, careers, money, it's all got to be sorted and resolved. And at the end of the day, it's like it feels like you've been very giving, but now there's going to be some big changes coming up. And it just feels like you need to stick to it. And you know you're right to do it. It's just that you don't want to do it. You're trying to keep the peace. And keeping the peace is good, but it doesn't always work. So I feel as though it's time to implement things. Even if you don't just do it yet, you will be doing it. I feel like you could be already thinking about these changes connected with people around your friendships, family, but you will do it. Even at the latest, you will do it at the end of the year, but you will do it. So just keep doing what you're doing, and I will feel so bit by bit you'll get there. Now, when it comes to home, this is interesting because I don't feel like you're sort of doing much with the home at the moment because it's like I feel as though it's difficult. But eventually, I can see sort of spending on the home. But I've got your ifing and ahhing. It's almost like for those that own your own properties, you'll be working out with whatever it is you're spending. Is it really worth it? It's like you're coming to a point in your life where you're analysing your money and where you're going to be sort of for when you get to that point where, you know, you should be sorted and done with everything. So in other words, is it paying? Are you getting your money back? You know, so it's like you're really analysing. So should you spend on your property or should you move? And it's difficult, and then maybe you can't move but you could spend. So it's like a lot of weighing up to do of what's doing with properties. But even whether you don't own or you rent, I just get the feeling there will be something to do or move with you, and you'll be backwards and forwards with this move. But I feel like eventually a move's coming, even if it isn't this year, you know, it's coming for you. And I think people will end up being quite surprised where you move to for some of you. But I just feel as though things are changing. People don't always see it right in front of you, but at the end of the day, things are changing at a very snail pace. But it's a good thing because it's at that pace where you can cope with it at the moment. It's like I feel as over the last 10 years, a lot's been going on, a lot of changes, and people have been at you at different directions, and it's like it's drained your energy. So now things are moving at a slow pace, although you're getting there, but it's about recharging your energy levels. And then as you do that, you'll be able to move forward. And when you get to the point of where you're really truly meant to be in life, a lot of people are going to be shocked. And even you're shocked yourself at the moment. It's like a lot of changes have all happened and you can see it, but there is so much more to come. So just keep doing what you're doing, and bit by bit, you're getting where you need to be, Leo. Right. And when it comes to children, I just feel as though I've got you trying to do your best for children, and that's fine and that's good. But sometimes I feel like, you know, you want to give more, and that's fine. But you've got to be careful then between appreciation and taking for granted. Because sometimes children have got their own ways. And we all want to do good, but you've got to think as when they get older, as if to say we're in that position of responsibility. In other words, are they sort of want everything given to want to play because that's the way it's been, or are they going to go out there and make things happen? And I can see you looking at one or two children and feeling frustrated that they're not doing what you'd hoped they would do. But I just feel so don't worry too much. They'll get there. They'll make their own ways. But eventually they'll realise what you've been through and what they've got to do and achieve, because that cash cow isn't there anymore. So eventually you'll have some interesting things to watch out for and to see what happens. But at the end of the day, they've got a lot of learning to do. But you can't fix everything for them. They've got to start doing it on their own. So, hope you've enjoyed that. Hope all that's made sense to you. And I wish you well and stay safe. Thanks very much for listening. Bye bye.